Hong Kong has been regarded as a super connector between the mainland and the rest of the world, and that role has been served very well by Hong Kong. And now we see a world in change, fragmentations. China is also evolving. So do you think Hong Kong is still holding up to that role?
I think so. We are the gateway for China, and we only had, although close to 8 million population, but we have a unique system. Because one country, two system, President Xi have emphasized there's no necessary to change. And thirdly, I think historically, Hong Kong has established as the world financial center. That is not something easily replaced.
Not something easily replaced. We do see, though, competitions, and that's not a new topic either. Singapore and some of the others. So where really is Hong Kong's advantage these days?
Recently there's a famous personality, Mr. Stephen Roche, to say that Hong Kong is gradually fading away. Hong Kong is over as a financial center. During 1997, Hang Seng Index was at 15,000. And he now say today the Hong Kong Hang Seng Index, after 25 years, is still 15,000. I don't think there's a fair comparison because you're using the low point to low point. In between now and the last 25 years, Hong Kong Index have went up to 25,000. So I think the competitiveness of Hong Kong is still there. Hong Kong is still one of the largest IPO in the world, and we raise also, I think, third largest bond market. So our track record show that we still have a lot of financial muscle, and we are still very competitive. And the index come down recently, he cited, I think is not because of anything else, because the property market in Hong Kong, unfortunately, have come down 30%. So I think that have affected our stock market. And also interest rate worldwide is quite high. So it affects the stock market.
When we see the changes over the past few years, China's interaction with the rest of the world has been evolving. Of course, there were problems posed by others, for example, about decoupling, about China is a different country compared to theirs. So David, let's look at some of the details of Hong Kong's economy. One interesting combination is Hong Kong dollars are pegged to the US dollars. As an international financial center, that's a must. On the other hand, Hong Kong's economy these days is so much intertwined with that of the mainland. So how do you see this interesting combination?
Last 20 years, when China was having high growth, we actually enjoying borrowing money when we were linked with US dollar much cheaper. So we can't have it both ways, But today it is not to our advantage, but it all swing left and right,
The other thing is about the real estate market in Hong Kong. The question is, where is Hong Kong's real estate going, especially with the backdrop that China, the mainland, is trying to adjust its real estate policies?
Hong Kong property market has been enjoying a very high growth for the last 20 years. And developers have enjoyed a remarkable, profitable years. But the people of Hong Kong, in all fairness, have to pay very expensive for any type of housing. Hong Kong is maybe the most expensive housing market in the world. It is now coming down and is adjusting in the right direction. President Xi have always say, housing is for you to live, not for you to speculate. So the property market is coming down. It is hurting in the short run our consumer market, but in the long run, I think for the people of Hong Kong, it's going to have a better life.
The next question, David, has to do with the mainland's policies toward Hong Kong, the central government's policy toward Hong Kong. We see a number of preferential policies already being outlined. Greater Bay Area is one of them. Some suggest, though, the speed of developing it is not as fast as earlier expected. How do you see these kind of policies being tapped into efficiently and pragmatically to serve a critical juncture that we are facing right now?
Well, may I use this opportunity to ask for further support from our Beijing? I think all people said that Hong Kong was a shopping paradise, right? All the ladies, men always come to Hong Kong to buy, to shop. I hope, to help Hong Kong, Beijing would consider giving us further support. But they already are looking at it. Recently they have relaxed both Xi'an and Qingdao. I believe that give a sort of free traveling to Hong Kong. So we obviously like Beijing to give us more support.
How do you navigate both the business environment and also your role as a member of the most important political consultative body of China?
We can play a role. For example, I'm personally very well connected with politicians from Indonesia, Malaysia, Australia, England. I'm obviously my first role at royalty. I must understand I'm honored to be a member of CCPC, and as my father always told me, no matter who I am, at the end I am Chinese. Okay, so my royalty must fall with my own country, but it's actually okay. Sometimes I do make my contribution, to try to link further friendship in different circumstances between China and those countries.
You are actually a very important member of the Better Hong Kong Foundation.
Yep.
I know that specific organization was organized by you and some of your friends right after 1997, when people were talking about, probably there's no future for Hong Kong, things like that. And you guys reacted, and certainly acted. So tell me more about how you are looking at what you can do now.
In 1997, one of the most important financial magazines in the world said Hong Kong is over. So that's why then our Mr. C.H. Tung have asked many businessmen, including myself, I'm a trustee member, to form this Better Hong Kong Foundation to promote to the world that Hong Kong is not over. Well, history has shown after China take over Hong Kong, now almost close to 25, 30 years, Hong Kong actually have become bigger in terms of economies, every directions. Hong Kong definitely was not over, and Hong Kong did not disappear. Of course, Hong Kong will have to face economic cycle, like our own country, like America, like any other countries. So we have our up and downs too. Okay, so I think we are grateful, to Beijing. That a few years ago we have this, we call it the Black Riots in Hong Kong. Okay, which it was terrible if you live in Hong Kong. People stopping their car in the middle of a street and everything. Well, we're very grateful to our, to Beijing, to calm down the situation, and forever we'll be grateful. And I think once we pass this Section 23 now, that Hong Kong have always been a financial animal. Hong Kong have always been a financial center. When I was speaking on World Economic Forum, these Americans, English press was attacking us in Hong Kong when I was a speaker, to say that you people political standard in Hong Kong is very low. I told them, maybe it's true. Hong Kong is never a political center. Hong Kong is a financial center. But don't kill Hong Kong, because Hong Kong serves gateway for all of you going into China. And today, Hong Kong will serve, to answer your other question, the China company after 30 years have become giants. Some of the national company, private, become giants. So now it's the other way around. Chinese company will now use Hong Kong as a platform to invest in the rest of the world. So Hong Kong will always find its role. Hong Kong, as a super connector, this way, the other way, and because we are one country, two system, and because we're common law, that Hong Kong will always find its way.